Thunderbolts, post Thunderbolts clarity, we gotta talk about the movie. That movie was absolutely amazing. I want to get into not a full analysis, just my perspective on the movie, why I agree with the ratings that it got. First off, I want to start off with my first thoughts going into the movie. So personally, I saw the marketing and stuff. I saw all that joint, and it's not like it didn't convince me to watch the movie, because obviously I went, but it wasn't really selling to me. It wasn't making me really hyped for it. It just made me interested, and I think Marvel did a good job on that, just captivating the audience and getting them to pop out to the movie. I think that was their main objective, and it worked. Got a lot of people involved. I mean, my brother's involved, y'all, and I think that worked a lot in their favor for sure. But yeah, me going into the movie, I didn't really expect anything. I didn't know a lot about the cast. I watched Black Widow the same week prior to the movie dropping on Friday, just to get a little more in-depth analysis, because I knew 3 characters from the Thunderbolts team, Taskmaster, Yelena, and the Red Guardian. They were all part of the Black Widow movie, so I watched that to get a little bit more context, and that definitely helped. I wanted to watch the Captain Falcon, what's this, Soldier, Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier show before that, but obviously I didn't have enough time. I didn't make the time. I was just so busy. But me going to the movie, I didn't expect much, and I definitely was surprised. I definitely got way more than what I hoped for, or what I expected. And let's just dive into it. I just want to hop into the characters first, because that was a great part of the movie. The team dynamic, just throwing a bunch of Suicide Squad type people together to make a team just to get something done. None of them got any major superpowers or anything. I mean, Ghost got some superpowers, but most of them are just punch and shoot for real. And there's not it's more realistic, I guess, in terms of you don't have an overpowered superhero like Thor or Iron Man or Captain America. They just got these people that could fight and shoot with their abilities, and made it more a relatable, I guess, because of the way that they're still human and they still take damage. They still have their own flaws and stuff. But yeah, I want to talk about the characters. First of all, bro, let's get into Taskmaster, bro. They did Taskmaster dirty, bro. Dirty. Killed her off in the first 5 minutes. Not even the first 5 minutes, probably the first 20 minutes of the movie. Killed her off, and she only got 5 minutes of screen time. I don't know, 1 or 2 lines, and they killed her, bro. Shot her in the head, and the characters started taking her weapons and stuff. She's oh, they don't need that. She don't need that. That's disrespectful, man. How you gonna take off the dead body, bro? Have some respect. Yelena was trying to tell them what's up, but they didn't have no respect, and that was crazy, bro. That was just crazy, a crazy moment for me. But Taskmaster got wasted in this movie. I think that's just Marvel basically saying they didn't have no plans with her no more. They could have done so much more, especially with her unique ability of being able to copy people. They could have capitalized on that. And plus, I feel she got nerfed too, because if you have everyone's abilities, you should be owning everybody in the room. But in Black Widow, she was way tough, but in Thunderbolts, she got cooked. So I don't know if she didn't get the 2.0, 3.0 upgrade, but yeah, she got disrespected crazy. Next up, I want to go into Red Guardian. Literally almost every scene with Red Guardian, I was laughing. That dude was hilarious. David Harbour, I think that's his name. He played that role well, for sure. I can't remember a time where I wasn't smiling, at least when he was talking, bro. He was just fully in depth into his character, and that's what I like to see. That's the type of acting I like to see. He just encompassed the Red Guardian, and I liked him in Black Widow. He was funny, but he was even funnier in Thunderbolts, for sure, 100%. And it helped bring back a comedic character. I'll bring a comedic effect to the movie. And it's a movie that's meant to be serious, also have his own comedy and comedic moments, and Red Guardian was a part of that. He also has some special moments with Yelena that I'm gonna get into later, but I really like this character a lot. Ghost was a character I didn't really care for, honestly. Her powers is alright, phasing is cool and stuff, and she used it in different ways, but at least they give her a flaw so she wouldn't seem too broken, just to dial her back down to speed. But her as a character, I didn't really like or dislike her. She was just there for me. She was just neutral. I don't really have much to say about her. But yeah, she's just there for me. Probably because I didn't watch the Ant-Man movie, so I don't even know like where like her origin is. If I got more backstory, I probably would have resonate with her more, like Red Guardian and Yelena. But for now, I didn't really like have much interest in Ghost. No, I didn't dislike her or like her. It's just neutral. Like she's just there for me. John Walker was hilarious. He definitely was like a prick, bro. Like he was always like getting on Bob's nerves. He was just like saying like he's the best and stuff, and I can see why he's not Captain America more. Captain America's gotta be noble, he's gotta be humble, and John Walker is literally none of those. But I wish I watched the Captain America Winter Soldier series beforehand because I knew no context about John. They did a good job about covering up for people that didn't watch the show. They did a pretty good job and including information that displayed like where those people are from and like how they fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Walker, he has some funny moments. Him trying to like jump up the tunnel scene, or like when he's trying to rizz up those girls with his shield, rizz up Ghost and Yelena, bro. He was hilarious. He had an ego problem, obviously. He thinks he's like the main guy, but he does have the most experience, so that would do it to him. But I liked his character. He was funny. So we got Yelena, definitely probably like the more focal point or the focal character of the story. As the first like 5 minutes of the movie start off with her perspective on like how she doesn't have purpose and she's just going mission to mission, not fulfilling anything in life. And I feel like she was used the most as an anchor to tie back into another character that I might get into later in the plot. Just like her way of saying like she has no purpose, like ever since like Black Widow died and her other relatives like moved on or something. She just had no purpose and she doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. And like that's symbolic to people in the world right now that's like working 9-to-5 jobs or just not living their passions. I mean, nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 job if you actually like that, but there's a lot of people in situations where they have to work 9-to-5 to get money, and that's not where they want to be. And it's like they almost lost their purpose in life. They're just going through the motions, like Yelena. And I feel like that's very impactful. I like the way they display that in the movie, and it just used her examples of her life and used her as a character to tie everything back together, like that bobby pin to connect everything. Bob was like, I like Lewis Pullman, the way he acted as Bob. I think he was spot on for sure. Like if I didn't know him any better, I would actually think like that Bob dude was just like the chillest dude. I mean, that was his role though. Like obviously he wasn't a loser. When you get into the story, you understand why he acted like that, and it's deeper than it is from face value. The actor Lewis Pullman, he played that position when he played that role extremely well. You like the way he played that role, you think that's how he acts in real life. So that's just crazy. But we also do see that Bob literally becomes a Sentry, and the Sentry kind of gets like a more ego role when he realizes what he could do, his powers, and that kind of gets into more of the plot. But in terms of Bob as a character, I like how he was like also a focal point of the story, how he was dealing with depression, how he's dealing with all these drugs, and like that's also real life problems, bro. Like this is a superhero movie, but it's also one of the realest Marvel movies I've ever seen, because it's like relating back to things that people actually deal with on a regular day-to-day basis, which makes it more relatable, or makes you more genuine for the characters, because you can actually relate with them, actually understand what they're going through. So I feel like that's important. I feel like Marvel making that perspective is what gave it such high ratings, which gave it so that strong emotional impact. And Bob was one of those characters that we could resonate with, especially towards the climax of the movie. Now Bucky, they did Bucky right. That motorcycle scene was legit one of my favorite scenes in that movie. Like he was just being Bucky, bro. Like the Winter Soldier back, bro. You'd think he was back in his prime, bro. I mean, he's not really back in his prime, but like he's close to it. But Bucky was going crazy. I like Bucky. I think they changed Bucky a little bit up. Like usually Bucky would like, I don't see Bucky as like a mentor type of guy. I see Bucky as like his own guy. They changed his character up a little bit, but I mean, it's so slight that it doesn't really matter much. He's just trying to help people that like Yelena, like Ghost, like John Walker. His name's Walker, right? But yeah, he's trying to help them get out of the bad spot that they're in. He's trying to sympathize with them because he's been in the similar situation that they were. So he's just trying to understand their perspective and just trying to help them grow out of their own failures into something even better, like he did with Steve. So yeah, Bucky kind of having his own like transformational spot, especially getting to Congress. That's another step. You could tell that in the movie he doesn't like it at all, but later in the movie you see it's just a position. And then Val, I don't know much about Val either. Like ever since like Endgame, I've been like on and off with Marvel. Like if I'm being completely honest, so I just really gotta get back into like watching all the movies. I plan to watch all the Marvel movies, and I'm gonna make a video on that when I'm done. And that's probably gonna take a while. But Val was someone that she was very manipulative, and she portrayed the villain well, or antagonist, I guess. I don't know, villain. She was manipulative, trying to get everything she wants, and then she still kind of did, but at what cost? But the actress, she played her position well. She's very manipulative and controlling. Now I want to get more into the plot and like the deeper meaning. So basically, the plot was about this. The whole movie revolved around Bob. To be honest, like Elena Walker, Ghost, Taskmaster, they're sent to like a room to like kill each other because of Val. She wants to get rid of evidence so she can like stay in her position of power, because like they found evidence on her for like working on illegal stuff. She was gonna get banned or whatever. So the people that work for Val, which Elena and those other three are part of it, she sent them to go kill each other, and they found Bob there. And then pretty much like she tries to use Bob to become the next Sentry, and the Sentry is basically like a super duper soldier that has like powers of flight and abilities, and he's like invincible and stuff. She wants to use that to become, so he could become the next face of the world, like the face of the Avengers, so that she would have her own superhero, so she can just lead the government people. And that's dangerous because Bob was unstable before. He was a drug dealer, he had mental crisis, and she's trying to change him into a superhuman. And we see that like not everyone can handle the super serum like that. You gotta have pure heart, and you gotta just be in the right mind. So that's why like them understanding that, especially Bucky, him understanding that, they had to stop her. It had to stop her from using Sentry. And is there the real deeper meaning below that? It's just like Bob was suffering all his life, dealing with abusive father at home, dealing with drugs, dealing with all his depression and mental state, and it all just builds up over time. And he just feels like that all his life has been told that he was not nothing, that he can't contribute to anything, that he always makes things worse, and he just wants to make a difference in someone's life. That's why taking the Sentry project to make a change is why he wanted to do it. And it's crazy because it relates back to real life. Like people go through depression all the time, people trying to get over their addictions, people always going through something else. And when they realize that the pain is not going to go away until they deal with it directly, you can't like find a different substitute like Bob tried to do. He didn't try to find the right solution. He tried to find to get more drugs to deal with his situation, but that's just not it. And everyone feels depressed from time to time, and Bob was like a real personification of that onto the movie screen. He just showed us that everyone goes through these things, everyone goes through tough times and trials and tribulations, but how we overcome them, how we get back to where we need to be, is how we grow. And it also shows that Bob, he felt like alone all his life, like no one understood him, and he's like suicidal sometimes too. But like you're never alone. And whatever situation you're in, you're never alone. You can reach out, you can talk to someone. There's always gonna be someone on the line. And Bob showed us that. Even though he was like persecuted, even though he didn't believe that he could do what's right, he came back with a team, and the Thunderbolts helped him find his way. And I just felt like that joint was powerful. Like it's a non-traditional Marvel movie. It like actually hit at the soul, the heart. And that's why I agree with what it got, for real. Because like all these Marvel movies, they stick to the plot, and that's cool and stuff. Like it's all good. But I had never seen an MCU Marvel take this approach. Like they took it to a deeper meaning. They actually took it to like real life problems, like finding your purpose in life, dealing with depression, how to overcome trials and situations, how to overcome tragedies in your life and your childhood. And like I don't think I've ever seen Marvel take this approach, and I think it was a good approach because it helped people relate to the situations, help people have genuine feelings toward the characters, fictional characters having genuine relations to them. That's crazy to think about. Like that's just how good their acting was, just how good and like relatable their stories and backstories were. But creating that genuineness, creating that connection is what drew me deeper to the movie. Is what draw my heart to the movie. It's just what got me motivated, innovated, just brought me incentive to come out to the movie theaters, not knowing that I was about to get a masterpiece. That's mainly what I wanted to say about the plot. It was just really impactful, and I hope Marvel continues to do stuff like this. They can't overuse it though, because it would start to lose its impactfulness. But I really like what they did with this movie and how they spend it. I definitely believe it deserves what it got. Going to some of the end credits or special moments. I really like this special moment when the Red Guardian was talking for Lena. He said, "When I see you, I don't see your mistakes." And that's just how we have to look at everyone. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's going through something else, but we can't judge them based off what we see. We had to look at their heart, look at their actions they choose, look at how they try to bounce back, and take that into account all the time. Because everyone's going through a tough time. Everyone's trying to do what's right. Everyone's trying to do better. And we can't just try to rush someone. We can't just blame them for their mistakes. We can't just view them because of all the mistakes they did. If they're making a step to make a change, that's effort. And you gotta give them the respect for that. And then Elena, she was trying to change her life. She was trying to find purpose. And she was in a tough patch, and the Red Guardian came to help her, just like her father. Or she, like a father figure, when she said, "Daddy, I'm still alone." That hit hard. Because there's so many girls around the world that feel alone, that they feel like they can't do anything, that they're feeling depressed, they're feeling like they're powerless, but they're not. But the Red Guardian helped her find her way, helped her find back. He's saying, you don't see mistakes, you're not alone. You always got people in your corner, just reach out. Another good scene I really liked was especially when Bob was fighting the Void. The Void was basically his negative personification of like his depression, all his bad feels, and the fact that he was fighting it, he had to overcome it. And that's just like a symbolization that he had to overcome his personal conflict. And eventually he was trying to beat him down, but like you can't beat your problems down. You can't beat your problems with violence. You got to beat them with love. And like that's what happened in the end. Like the group, the Thunderbolts, they all hugged Bob, helped him get out of the trap. And he was trying to fight that Void thing to the ground, but he didn't realize that he was becoming that. Because like fighting your past, like trying to deal with your past with violence is not the way. You gotta do that with love, and that just hit home to me, bro. Like Marvel don't do stuff like this before, and like when I saw them cooking, I had to let them cook. I just had to sit back there and think, reflect. Like this might be one of the greatest Marvel movies of all time. I'm not gonna get crazy though. I'm not gonna get crazy. But definitely one of the best Marvel movies in a while, for sure. In terms of end credits, I wasn't really expecting much. I mean, the Hopper one was funny. Like Hopper always got those funny moments. But the Fantastic Four joint was crazy. That was good marketing on their part. But it kind of confirms that like it kind of hints that to the Fantastic Four movie that's coming out in like July that they're gonna lose. Cause like why would their spaceship be coming to the Thunderbolts place if they didn't lose? So like it's kind of a spoiler, but at the same time not everyone watches end credits, so you can still go into that movie expecting nothing. Me personally, I kind of know, so like I'm just gonna be expecting the whole time that they're gonna lose. So I'm just like but it's what else. I like how Sam and Bucky ended up talking over the break. Kind of hints at that people think that the Thunderbolts are the new Avengers, and Sam's trying to build his own Avengers team, which Thunderbolt Ross told him, I thought he was Ross told him to do that. So there's probably gonna be like 2 Avengers teams, and there's gonna be like some conflict. So I'm kind of eager to see that, cause Sam and Bucky are good friends, especially over friends with Steve Rogers. So I kind of upset that they like ended their friendship so easily over something that's kind of trivial. But I'm excited to see that dynamic. I'm excited to see how Marvel approaches that and takes those 2 teams, see what they do with them. So we got the new Avengers, or the B Avengers, or the Dark Avengers, or we can just call them Thunderbolts because that's what the movie was originally named. It got changed to the New Avengers, but I'm not sure if it's an Avengers movie. I really don't know, but it seems like the Thunderbolts. But yeah, bro, end credits, suits. Their suits were alright. I don't know what Bucky was doing with his hair. I want to see that old Winter Soldier look, to be honest. That's his best suit, for sure. He needs to get back to that. And Sentry, oh, dude, I didn't even talk about Sentry, bro. Sentry was crazy. That dude was literally Superman in the Marvel. That was literally Superman, bro. Like, I'm saying that hands down, I feel like he's stronger than Thor, because you can't touch him. He got psychic powers. You literally can't touch him. He might be stronger than Captain Marvel too. I feel like he might be the strongest out of the heroes, at least. I'm not sure if he could beat Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, but Thor kind of did that. So Thor probably can go hand in hand with Sentry. But I don't know. I don't know who would be able to touch him. But Sentry is definitely the top dog. And the Void, like now, like Bob can't even use Sentry because if he does, there's a chance the Void comes out. So it's like a flaw. So they're not gonna make him too broken. They actually give him like a nerf or whatever. But I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna do with Sentry and Doomsday. That dude's definitely broken. So they're either gonna use him as fodder to make Doctor Doom seem extremely strong, or they're just gonna like forget that he doesn't even have powers and he doesn't even activate them. He's just use him as a comic relief character. Either way, bro, like Sentry's broken, bro. If you saw that scene, he literally owned all of them. I mean, it's not saying a lot since they're all like almost nearly powerless, but like he was just cooking, bro. He was even trying either. That's just a flex. When you're not even trying, he's still beating you. Like you literally have no chance. I thought Bucky was about to go in when he took off his shirt. I was like, all right, Bucky, let's get it, man. Bro, he got cooked. Dang. Everybody just throwing that arm off. Disrespect, bro. That's crazy. But Sentry is crazy. End credits are crazy. But that's just a little summary of the Thunderbolts movie. I thought it was really good. Final thoughts. I think it definitely deserved what it got. If I was to rate it on a 10-point scale, I would give it like 8.8 out of 10. There's a few things I didn't like about the movie, but overall it was a really good movie. It touched home the heart. I'll give it like a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 is kind of crazy. Alright, 8.8. I'll keep it 8.8. But there's a lot of parts of the movie that I liked. A lot of parts where they connected with people. A lot of parts with where it just had me laughing. Had a good amount of action. Had me laughing. Suspense, plot, deep meaning. Deep meaning was the most important one that pushed it over the edge, I believe. And Marvel doesn't do things like that, but when they do, they just like this. Like whoever directed this, kudos to you, bro, because you absolutely cooked. Because you're using superheroes, characters people aspire to be, and reminding them that they're not that far different from you. They actually have problems that we can relate to, and people like to see things like that. People like to see things that relate to them, that they can understand better, that they're not far off. So like it's like almost saying that I could be them, putting them in their shoes. I like how Marvel did that. But yeah, that's how I feel about Thunderbolts. Let me know what you guys think about Thunderbolts. Let me know if you guys watched it, what you guys think about the whole movie, whether you like it or not, whether it deserved what it got in the ratings. What do you think about the end credit scene? What's next for Marvel? What's next for these characters? But I absolutely love the Thunderbolts. It's probably my favorite team in the Marvels, maybe right under Avengers. But I really like the Thunderbolts dynamic. And yeah, shout out to Thunderbolts. Hope it does well in the box office. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.